skin bleaching is one of those examples. Like, you know, they came, people came here and they said, you know, prior to the last few decades, actually prior to the 2000s, when African economies have jumped forward and grown rapidly, people associated wealth with white skin. And they associated being erudite or educated or sophisticated with white skin. So the lighter you were, you could then give the impression that you're one of those privileged people. And power perceived is power achieved. So, you know, if you walk into a room, say 30 years ago, and you looked white, you might be treated differently from if you walked into the same room and you looked black. So, and this is true in parts of the world, you know, where if a black person walks into a hotel or a mall, people start, you know, casing them to see if they're going to steal something. If you go to get a visa so you can travel abroad, they think if you're very black, you know, that maybe you're trying to immigrate as opposed to do tourism and come back. So they deny you a visa because of your skin color. This is going on now. So that if you have lighter skin, in general, your life gets easier. So that people make decisions, say, you know, I prefer to marry a woman who's lighter skinned because her life and the life of my children will be easier. You understand? So, and if you can't do that, if you can't biologically find yourself white, then people are turning to skin bleaching. And not just skin bleaching. Remember, this has been happening in other countries. Like, for instance, in Peru, where the Japanese are perceived to, they have a population of Japanese there that's immigrated to certain parts of Latin America. People there have operations to change the skin fold, to fold it so it looks Japanese. So if you're a native-born Peruvian, you don't look Japanese, but you can look Japanese if you have an operation to create a skin fold, a double fold in your eyelid. So it makes you look Asian. And this is a big operation, you understand? In North America, if you have a narrow nose, it means you may have more European blood. So people are having plastic surgery to make their noses look more aquiline, more European type. People are bleaching skins. People are they call it relaxing the hair, perming, to make the hair look more, less what they call kinky or curly. Yeah, more silky to more better resemble European hair. So these are calculations you make, and depending on the kind of money you have, then you can make your life a little bit easier in some situations. You know, there's an assumption that your life will be easier if you're lighter skinned, or if you look or have features that, you know, are associated mostly with European people who, because of colonialism and history of slavery, are associated with being upper class, and so there's some privileges that come with your appearance. Yes, that's why bleaching is still a big deal. Of course, it's extremely dangerous because you know, bleaching chemicals are toxic to your body, right? And they cause cancer, and most of the bleaching creams they're using in Africa today are banned in Europe. But bleaching is not just an African problem. Bleaching is happening even among white people. People who want to look more North European, who are from Southern Europe, bleach their skin to look more European. People who are born with curly hair, who are European, tend to straighten it to make it easier for them to look like, you know, other Europeans who are more privileged. Unfortunately, the history of the world has evolved in such a way in the last 2-3 centuries to create the impression that, you know, that Europeans have some superior advantages. But I think that increasingly that's not the case. I think that there's now a bigger trend also among certain white people to tan, to darken their skin. You know, it's the opposite direction now. Many people who are white no longer associate white skin with privilege in certain parts of the US. You know, And there have been very, very high profile cases where white people have been passing off as black people. You know, they cut their hair short, they go into tanning machines, and because tanning now, dark skin is associated with wealth in certain parts of the US. You know, so the thing is that it's a strategy that's been employed, but it's being employed everywhere around the world. Yeah, there are people who are trying to look black, while there are people who are trying to look white. Um, I think increasingly people are going to find that as the culture evolves to be more open to each other, I think that there are standards of beauty now that people are realizing, you know, it's okay to be dark. Um, and only in the last 30, 40 years, you know, you have supermodels who are famously black, you know, and who are successful, you know. Sorry? Naomi Campbell, Iman, and others who since the 70s and 80s and 90s have made it athletes you know, who are black have made it very popular to be black. Actors, Will Smith, musicians, rock stars. So I think that the association with white skin being a sign of success is increasingly being debunked. And now people prefer to look a certain way. But of course, you know, there's still that bleaching going on, yeah, still. So I think that these interviews we're doing, and the film industry and the news agencies that are coming out that are you know, showing Africans the positive light, eventually time will come when having black skin won't be such a big problem. It will be something that's okay, desirable for many people. Yeah, I think that's going to end eventually. Uh, in a normal society, it should not be a problem whether you're black or white. You know, it shouldn't matter.
Well, let me hear you say mountain, mountain.